All right, here we go. So this review video. So what I'm doing here is I'm going through the biggest concept of the macroeconomics unit, where we look at aggregate demand, aggregate supply, and fiscal policy. So this is right before we get into fiscal policy. What we need to be able to do is understand where everything is on all four of these graphs. So they all are speaking a similar language, and each dot can be shown on each point. If something is on here, it can also be shown on here, here, and here. So this is a review video. So if you don't get any of these concepts or even one of them, go back and do the review videos, because we're going to be looking at, and make sure you should know all four of these: the egg demand, egg supply for any given country, so USA I picked, business cycles, the Phillips curve, and the PPG. So I'm gonna put something up on here, and I'm gonna pause it, and I'm gonna have you guys see if you can figure out where those are. So this is a great review to kind of make sure if you get it. Okay, we'll do probably about 3 of them or 4 of them. So first one. So here's what you should do also. You should have like a sheet of paper, and you should have all these drawn out, and each time, and here's the key, and I learned this from Mr. Clifford: you got to graph it. Don't just sit there, oh yeah, again, graph it, draw it, see if you actually know what you're talking about. Don't just be like, oh, I think I know where it is, because you got to test yourself. Okay, so first one, egg demand shifts to the right. So show me what that looks like here, and show me where that is here, here, and here. I'll step out of the way. Did you get it? More importantly, did you graph it? Okay, did you graph it? Did you graph it? Seriously, did you graph it? I hope so, because if you didn't, you might just be guessing. Okay, let's go. Let's try to do a good practice for yourself. So what's that going to look like? Here, it's going to be an egg demand shift to the right. It's going to be a point right about there. Egg demand shift to the right. Just like I said. Now where's that going to be here? That's going to be at this point right here, at the top of the business cycle. Okay, or expanding part, ahead of full employment. Where's that going to be here? It's going to be outside this, and why is it there again? Because this line represents what? It represents full employment. So we're ahead of full employment. So we're outside our full employment capacities. We're speeding up pretty fast. Okay?
Students, there is a French honors meeting going on in Mrs. Ticknor's room right now, in room 127.
Over here, there. Now, this is the tough one. The Phillips curve, because it doesn't, it kind of is tricky, because it isn't as maybe straightforward as the other two. But where is that? Now, this is a what gap? This is a inflationary gap. So where is that here? That is right here. Why? Because we have high level of inflation and a low level of unemployment. This graph shows us what? None of the other graphs speak to us about unemployment. You can imply it here, but this one shows the direct relationship between inflation and unemployment. Okay, that's what the Phillips curve is all about. Okay, good. Now, how about if egg demand shifts to the left? Draw it out and see if you got it. Did you get it? Did you graph it? Hope you graphed it. Okay. First of all, egg demand is going to shift to the left. There's going to be a point right here with a shift happening. It's going to be right here on the business curve because we're low. Where's that going to be here? It's going to be inside of our production possibility curve. Okay. Where's that going to be on here? Well, that's a recessionary gap, so it's going to be right here because we have a high level of
Mr.
unemployment.
Santos, if you're in the building, could you please come to the main office?
We have a high level of unemployment, so this is 5%, maybe this is 10%, but we have a low level of inflation. So I guess with bad news comes good news. Okay. Now, how about, I'll throw a different one at you. Let's say income taxes go down. Where's that going to be? Did you get it? Did you graph it? Hope so. We did both. So income taxes go down. Is that aggregate demand or aggregate supply? Well, it's aggregate demand because people have more money, because income taxes go down, so it's going to increase the C, the consumption part of GDP. So what's that going to do? Aggregate demand shifts to the right. So we point right here. Inflationary gap, which is there, which is there, which is outside. Okay? Now, another one. And remember, because when I say wages, it's different than saying like income. So now I'm going to say wages go up. Wages go up. Wages go up. Did you get it? Hope so. Wages go up. Oh, that's a supply. That's supply. It's not demand. It's supply. Supply shifts to the left. Okay, supply shifts to the left. We're up here. Oh, this is a little different. Well, it's gonna be, we're gonna be down here because we're out of whack. Okay, we're gonna be here because we're not at full capacity. But where is that on here? So supply shifts like that. So the long run fills curve shifts like that. Remember, it's kind of like we talked about this early 90 wrappers. There's that relationship between like that going out and that going out. So if you didn't get it, check that out also on a previous video. Okay, that's a tricky one. Okay, now final one, and I'll draw it on here. Okay, show me what happens if we have a negative demand shock due to unexpected things happening in the economy, and then show me the correction back to long run on all three of these. So negative demand shock, and then get us back to full employment. Did you get it? I bet you did. I bet you did. You've been doing so long, these already, I'm so excited to see. Negative demand shock. Now let's get back to full employment. Okay, so negative demand shock is going to be right here. Oh. Now this is called what? This is called the recessionary gap. So where is that point? So this was 1, 2. So we were at full employment. We were at full employment. And we were at full employment. So that's the easiest one to get. You know where full employment is. Okay, you know where full employment is. Then 2, now we're right there. So where's that? That's right here. That's right here. And what is that? That's a recessionary gap. Now, we're right here. 2. Now, got to get back to the coveted full employment. How do we do that? How do we do that? Well, it's different in every graph. Here, egg supply shifts to the right. And that's always a tricky concept. Egg demand, egg supply. Now we're back there. Why does that happen again? This is why. Remember, at this point right here, people are going to be willing to work for a lot less. Wages are going to go down. Prices of goods are going to go down. Well, what is that? That's a supply shifter. Supply to the right. So that over time, the economy naturally corrects. Now, this is a good opportunity to remind you that this teaches us what? This teaches the natural correcting nature of the economy. In the long run, we're going to get back to full employment. Problem is, if this is a really, really bad recession, the government may not want to sit around and wait 20 years because it could take that long, okay? So it may enact some type of policy to get us back to full employment before it naturally corrects. Now, where is this 3? This is 3. Well, we're back here. We're back to full employment. That makes sense, right? We're back on the line, which is the trend line, which is full employment. We're also back here. Back to full employment. Now, we got to get back here. How are we going to do it? Well, take a look at this. Our egg supply shifted like this. Our egg supply is coming like this, so it's got to come like that. So if it comes like that, how does that go? Look at that. See that? Because they're going to come at each other. You draw the 2, they're going to come at each other. Okay? And now we're back here. And now we're back to covered full employment. That Phillips curve is the toughest of the 4. I understand that. So that's why this helps. Okay? But they're going to point at each other. Okay? Or point away from each other if it's the other direction. Okay? So, and that's how we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hopefully that made sense. Until next time.